Okay, y'all, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Krizz'Tina and I be filming all kind of stuff, period. So I only have about an hour and a half to get ready. Thank God I already did my hair. I blow dried my hair. It's gonna be out. I already did my hair, already showered. I'm buttered down. I'm gonna put on my body lava, my Fenty body lava in a minute, but we gotta do this makeup, okay? By the way, I am getting over a cold. With that being said, let's get it popping. First things first, I need to wake up my lips, y'all. And I'm using this. I am in a bit of a rush because, well, like I said, I'm supposed to be at this event in an hour and a half. And it usually takes me about 2 hours to do my makeup, especially if I'm doing a full face, like a beat face. Y'all, I've been contemplating cutting off my eyebrows again. I've been thinking about it. I'm not gonna do it. I probably will though. So I'm just gonna fill them in from the bottom. One thing about getting sick is I definitely get out of the habit of doing my makeup when I'm sick because I don't want to contaminate my makeup, obviously. But at the same time, it's so bad because I don't even remember, the way that I like to do certain things because it's just been so long, and then it gets intimidating. You know what I mean? It's like, wait a minute, do I even remember how to do this? Especially me and these eyebrows, honey. I think summertime is the time of the year where I just have a straight brow. Like, eyebrow gone, baby. Because this right here, the arch, the point, it's cute. It's my natural brow shape, but trying to make these cousins look like siblings is a task, to say the least. Regardless of the complications of me doing my eyebrows and my makeup though, I have a reputation to uphold, and that reputation is me having a snatch face. So it has to give what needs to be given. All these stray hairs though do be getting on my nerves. I'm not gonna lie to you. And I will pluck them in a minute. There we go. Next thing that I'm going to do is take this product from Benefit. This is their 24-hour brow setter. And I'm gonna lay these hairs down. Now in the past, I would laminate my brows to my forehead, y'all. And you know what? I probably will get back into that if and when I do cut off my eyebrow tails again. But today we're gonna try to keep it in the frame that I have drawn. And so I'm brushing the hairs up and then I'm flattening them on my face using the flat side of this applicator. I almost called it a spatula because that's kind of what it feels like. I'm also going to take a brow pen. This is from Anastasia Beverly Hills in the shade Ebony. And what I'm going to do is give myself a couple of hair strokes. If you store them upside down, these pens stay juicy for a very long time. Me personally, I like for them to be crisp and clean and as thin as possible. So I wipe the applicator off. And then I just go in. You could probably barely even tell, but in person, I almost always get compliments on my eyebrows because of the fact that I've drawn in these little whatchamacallits, especially when I used to work in retail. I used to always get people be like, oh my God, I wish I had hair like yours on my eyebrows. And I'd be like, you do, girl. I just draw mine in. Okay, so I'm almost 100% positive that this concealer is not my shade anymore because I took my happy butt outside and I started tanning. But this is the concealer that I'm going to use. Ooh, now my makeup having something on it. Ooh, I hate when my makeup is dirty. Clean under my brows with this. The reason why I said this isn't my shade anymore is because I'm tan and I like for my concealers to sort of at least match the center of my face, right? Because that's where I typically put them. So we'll see. Baby, look at that arch. Where is it going? My arch is way over here. So I don't even think I've spoken about what the event is, but it's going to be in my vlog. Make sure that you're subscribed to my channel so that you can watch my vlogs, y'all. I usually post them about probably one every 2 weeks or once a month. And it's my day-to-day life, what I'm up to, what I'm not up to, what I'm going through, the struggles. Okay, if you like vlogs, subscribe. If you like makeup videos, subscribe. This is the primer that I'm gonna use from ABH. I love this primer because it doesn't crease on me and it plays really, really well with all of my eyeshadow formulas, including, you know, obviously the ABH formulas. So I just put a little bit on and I blend it by tapping in to get the nice even coverage. I also want to make sure that this is getting into the folds of my eye because I do have folds and wrinkles in my eye. So I'm tapping it in and then I blend it into the concealer, okay? It's also partly why I put my concealer on instead of putting on primer first, because I don't want there to be primer right here and then foundation and yada yada woo. All right, y'all, so the inspiration for my makeup today is my earrings that I'm wearing. Granted, they are faded because these are very, very old. They came from JCPenney, if I'm not mistaken. But I feel like I could come up with something cute. My camera can get close, but when it gets too close and I move, like, the focus changes and I just don't want that for y'all. Okay, maybe I'll just a little close. Okay, so these are the palettes that I'm going to use because they have the shimmering peaks that I like. I'm going to go into the shade 1988, and I don't even know, you know what, maybe I'll do a halo today. How about that? We'll do a halo. So I'm going to put 1988 on the outer corner of my eye, and then I'm also going to put it on the inner corner of my eye. And a halo is a really good way to go, especially if you're not someone who's like super duper great at doing eyeshadow, because pretty much all you got to do is put your transition shade or your darker shade on the outside, the inside, connect them together with like a lighter brown or some, whatever you're using, and then just slap your shimmer in the middle. 1, 2, 3. Obviously mine's going to be a little bit more in depth than that, because y'all know I love color and I love playing with color, but I'm gonna do a halo. Also, halos look really, really good with lashes, especially if you're somebody who likes to wear big fluffy lashes. Halo's the way to go because they this kind of look doesn't take away from the style of the eyelash. I'm like, wait, do I have any other transition colors up in here? There's this one called Metro. I might add that on top of this other color. Okay, so the next shade that I'm going to use is New Yorker. And I'm going to tap that right on top of 1988. I'm putting it on top of it instead of above it because I want these two colors to mix as I'm blending them out, right? So first things first, I'm going to... Look, my brain's like, what are you doing? I'm going to blend in the direction I want this shade to go, which is towards the tail of my brow, because I want it to gradiate. This might be a halo, okay, but we still blending, honey, period. So I'm being super light-handed with this just to get that to blend out, right? In my inner corner, okay, I'm gonna come up in here and do these really short windshield wiper motions. They're short because I'm blending in place. I'm not trying to take my eyeshadow way out here. So I'm blending in place, and I'm also pulling down to blend out. Look at that. Now you can take these colors and connect them together right here like that if you want to, or you could leave it. Like, it's totally up to you. I'm going to take the shade Metro from the Nobu palette just because it's like a pinky tone, and I'm going to tap that right up in here towards the front of my brow. I could put this out here. I don't think I'm going to though, because I want to have a little bit of drama, okay? Get like me if you dare. But I want a little bit of drama up here. I am gonna fade it out slightly, but I'm gonna leave that right there like that. Ooh. This eyeliner from Urban Decay. The shade name is Perversion. I'm putting this down before I put down my pigments or my shimmery shades in the center, because this is going to act a bit as glue for my darker eyeshadow that I lay down in a minute. Also, it's a little bit more complicated blending an eyeliner into metallic eyeshadows the opposite way. So like if I lay down my metallic eyeshadow and then I tried to blend this in, I might wind up picking up a bit of the metallic shadow and just causing more damage than good, especially if you're somebody like me who likes to be specific about your placements. There's always a smarter way to go about doing things, and this is just one of those ways. Pretty. Wait, I just turned this halo into a cat eye. Oops. Oops. Now I'm gonna go ahead and put the black right here too. I'm not putting a ton of it though, because I kind of like the idea of having a halo cat eye combination. I think that's kind of cute, just to maintain the whole depth conversation we're having with these colors. And then I'm going to take my blending brush and I'm going to soften the edges. And that's just in case I decide not to put a darker shade down. That is so pretty. You really could just put on some mascara and leave your eyeshadow as is like this. Like even with the primer exposed, you really could. But we're not doing that. So I'm going to take my pinky and I'm using the shade, I don't know if it's Lily or Lily, but I'm tapping that right in the center. Now, I don't think I'm actually going to need any other colors because this shade matches what's in the center here of that earring. I need to find another brush. I'm just going to use a pencil brush because pencil brushes are precise. And I'm going to fade this out. Now, I would blink and just let the eyeshadow do a little bit of transferring, especially if you're somebody who has hooded eyes or just folds in your eye in general. That way you know where the eyeshadow is going to end up throughout the day instead of just leaving it, putting it in one spot and leaving it there. You know what I mean? You can go ahead and blend it up to where it's going to transfer anyway. Me personally, I'm just going to blend it out on both sides because, like I said, I only have a little bit of time to get ready and do what I need to do. So, ta-da. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, let me do the other eye. Okay, y'all. So, I decided I am going to add some black. Because I cannot help myself. I cannot help myself. Who would I be? Who would I be? I would be me without black eyeshadow, but still. Like I said earlier, I got all this makeup, I might as well. So I'm just adding a teensy weensy bits of black eyeshadow. Just a tiny, tiny, tiny little bitty. And all that's gonna do for me is visually give me a little bit more depth, which personally I prefer. I think that soft eyeshadow looks are very beautiful, and they definitely serve their purpose where, you know, needed. Here though, it's not desired, okay? Not on my eyes. So, and then I'm gonna take again my blending brush and just make sure that I blend that out so I don't have any, you know, stopping points or lines of demarcation. All right, now I got the lashes on, y'all. I put these on, the other lashes I told y'all about, but they are just too dense and too curly for this look. So yeah, what I do need to do though is go over the lash line with a little bit of eyeliner. like that. Hopefully y'all can see. And I'm going over it with this eyeliner because I want to hide the lash band. So typically what I do is a really thin line on my lash line before I put on the lashes, and then a really thin line afterwards. And this just makes everything look a little bit more uniform, a little bit neater. Yeah. Let's get into this base makeup though, y'all. Let's get into it. So it's been a minute since I've used my favorite primer. And the reason why is because I've been using this one with the sunscreen in it. But I gotta be honest with y'all, I'm starting to think perhaps I may be allergic to sunscreen, because nowadays, every time I wear it, I notice that my skin starts to have some texture to it. Or I'll get like these little, just these little bumps. And that's a sign of inflammation or irritation in the skin. And I don't know if it's like a heat rash because I'm really chilling in the sun after putting on my sunscreen, or I don't know if it's just I'm allergic. Either way, I might be easing back on the sunscreen. Maybe, we'll see. I do not know my foundation shade right now, and that is a bummer because I was this shade from NARS. So let me just swatch them and see. And as you can see, those are two different tones. Like the Armani one is, it just says shade number 11. So the Armani one is leaning a little bit more olive. So that's what I'm going to go with. Please, God, let this match. It looks like it's going to match. Specifically the outer perimeter of my face, which is not a problem. I'm just gonna tap this in because it is now 1:24. Okay, so I just need to figure out what I'm gonna put underneath my eyes. I'm gonna take the Haus Labs foundation because I like the formula, and I'm gonna do just a little bit. This shade is more on the neutral side, which just means that it's a little bit more pink. So it should complement my face. It's like, it's neutral leaning warm is what it looks like to me. But I like this formula because it's luminous, it's radiant, it has a really nice coverage. I think that this is beautiful for people who have dry skin types and people who are acne prone as well, because you really want to use something that's going to nurture your skin and not dehydrate it, especially if you're the kind of person with acne that wears your makeup outside and not just on the internet, because I used to be like that. Like, I want something that's gonna look good on me when I leave the house and not just when I'm taking pictures. Boom. Hopefully I'm in focus. Okay, so now that that's on there, I also need to bronze tour. And y'all, I think I might be a little too deep for my bronze tour now. Like, my tan, okay, maybe not, we'll see. I was gonna say my tan, almost, look at that. This is 500C from ABH, and this is in their, I think they only have one foundation actually. So this is 500C from them. One thing about putting on makeup is as soon as I start putting on my foundation, I start feeling all these weird different things across my face, like lint. I swear my eyelash was trying to jump off my eye just now. Baby, if I'm gonna be one thing, it's gonna be bronze. Hopefully the lighting in this place is not crazy so that I don't be looking crazy. Hopefully I look good when I step out of this dark room. It's so funny because just a couple of months ago, this foundation that I'm using to bronze tour was like really, really warm and deep on me, and now you could barely see it. So I'm going to take the concealer that I used underneath my brows and put it underneath my eyes. Do, 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 do. I really want to blend this out with a beauty blender, but the way the setting powder that I have available to me works, that is not going to work out well for me. So I'm using number 10 from ABH in their concealer, and then the same concealer that I started with for my brows. I'm also going to take this from YSL. This is one of their Touche Clock pens, and I'm only doing a little bit. This is in the shade 5.5. Blend this out with a dry beauty blender. Do not destroy me in the comments. I know. The only reason why I'm using a dry beauty blender is because the setting powder that I'm using from Huda Beauty, it's a baking powder, okay? It's a baking powder. And, you know, I had to learn the hard way that you got to use the product the way it's meant to be used. You can finesse or whatever, but to get the look that I want, I have to use the product the way it needs to be used, or the way that it was designed to be used. So I use a dry beauty blender now because, like, I feel like I'm going all the way around the world to explain this. I use a dry beauty blender with the Huda Beauty powder because when the powder comes in contact with water, it sort of just breaks up on my face, and I really, really, really don't like that because it's very hard to fix. And I thought that it was, you know, me or something like that, but after going to the event and learning that one of the ingredients is like, I think rice starch or something like that, I said, oh, that makes complete sense. That makes complete sense, because if it's rice starch, which basically just means ground up rice, right? If that's one of the ingredients, then that would make so much sense as to why it reacts that way when it comes in contact with a wet sponge. It's not really meant to come in contact with a wet sponge. I mean, you could definitely still use the powder, but you'll have to figure out a way to make that work for you. And I'm after using the Laura Mercier powder, I was not trying to figure that out, okay? Because I had got accustomed to dipping my damp beauty blender into my loose setting powder and not having any problems. By the way, when I run out of the powder I'm using now, I will be going back to my Laura Mercier powder. I think that the Huda Beauty powder is fantastic. It does an excellent job of making sure that my makeup doesn't go anywhere. But I really prefer the look and feel and application of the powder that I used before. So there's that. And you know what? That's okay. A product doesn't have to, what's the word? Like, you don't have to keep using a product or keep buying a product just because it does a good job. If you have preferences, you have preferences. And that is A-okay. Y'all, I'm really pushing through this. I really am. I deserve a round of applause. I'm going to be using banana bread. And the colors, the powders that she has in her line are tinted, okay? And there is a difference between using a tinted powder and using a translucent powder. Tinted powders are going to deliver pigment wherever you place them. And translucent powders, you know, you can put them on top of wet product, and essentially they're supposed to sort of mix in with that product and take on whatever color it has. And I'll do a little bit on my forehead. I do love the way these smell though. These smell so good, these Huda Beauty powders. And I might pick up another one day, but it'll likely be like one of the darker shades. Like, I think one that I hear a lot of black women use is Kanifa. I just didn't want something super yellow because I'm olive, or I'm neutral olive, if that makes any sense, because my skin changes. And I wasn't trying to be another black woman with a bunch of yellow powders on, because we don't all need yellow powder. Whether folks want to admit it or not. Yeah, I'm gonna put on some pink blush. So I'm thinking about mixing my two one size blushes. So this one is Rich Bitch with an E, and then this one is Girly Pop. I'm gonna do both of these because I like having definition around my cheekbones, and if I'm being completely honest with y'all, I can never have enough blush. So I'm gonna start off with the warm brown shade, and as you can see when I put it on, it gives a little bit more of a warm pinky hue, which I'm not mad at. Well, not even pinky, like a peachy, just warm. And I'm gonna bring it in underneath my eye a bit here, and up, 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 and away. So pretty, even on its own, but it doesn't necessarily match the look that I'm going for with all this pink that I'm wearing today. So there's that. Boom, boom, boom. Like that. And then I'm gonna pick up a little bit of the pinker one. And when I say a little bit, I mean a little bit, girl, because these is pigmented. And I'm gonna put the pinkier one right up in here, and I'm gonna blend it kind of sort of into my eyeshadow so that everything's seamless. Real cute. Period, period. Now that that is out of the way, I'm gonna go ahead and take my foundation brush, and I'm coming right up under my eyes, right in here. And then right around my foundation, my jawline. We looking good, y'all. We're doing good with time, kind of, sort of. And I do need to do something with my lower lash lines. Do I really want to put... I'm like, I don't want to put on lavender. But that is part of the theme. But I feel like if I put this on, it'll completely take away from the look. We'll see. I'll do lavender, and then I'm going to take some brown eyeliner that I have. This is more like a purpley brown. And this is in the shade Graphic Content or Graphic Content. This is from MAC. And then the other one that I'm using that's lavender is called Commitment Issues. That's funny because I was just saying how I don't think I could commit to this color on my eye. I'm going to blend them out a little bit. These eyeliners do not move, by the way. So if you're one of those people who feels like, oh, whenever I wear eyeliner, my eyeliner budges and this, that, and the third, give these a try because they do not come off for me. And if I'm being completely honest, it's a little annoying. Like, I want my eyeliner to stay on, but like these do not want to come off. Okay, so I'm going to take a little bit of 1988, the brown that I used in my crease to start the whole look. And I'm just going to blend these out. You do also have to work kind of quickly with these, especially if you're planning on using them to smudge or smoke anything. Personally, I wouldn't recommend it, at least not for like on the eyelid trying to smudge these out, because they're creamy and they work, but they just set entirely too quickly, including when they come in contact with eyeshadow. So, and then I'm going to take the brush that I was using to blend out my black and just sort of connect that depth on the outer corners, because there's still product left in this brush, obviously. All right, we're looking good. I'm feeling good. I just need to pop on some mascara, so I'm gonna use the One Coat Wow mascara from Huda Beauty, because we gonna see Miss Mona today, baby. And if she be like, oh my god, your lashes, I'm gonna be like, baby, it's that One Coat Wow. It's the One Coat Wow, Mona. Anyway, last but not least, y'all, we gonna do a lip. And oof, I ran out of the lip liner that I love so much from Too Faced, but it's okay because I'm supposed to put on this deep dark chocolatey one. And then figuring out the lip, I feel like I should do a nude, but it's also been a minute since I did a vibrant color. Okay, boom, lip liner. Then I'm going to put on this lipstick from ABH called Cool Brown, and I'm using this to sort of line my lips too. Last but not least, I'm going to take Mullet Over from MAC, because it's like a pinky color. And then for gloss, I'm going to use this gloss from ABH called Supernova. I am going to use my Milk Makeup setting spray. This is their Set and Refresh spray. If you are somebody that likes to be dewy, glowy, radiant, if you wear a lot of powders but you want to look nice, go ahead and get that setting spray. I will have everything linked down below, okay? And if you want to see what my outfit and everything looks like, go ahead and watch my vlog or follow me on Instagram, where I will be posting about the event as well. Peace. I'm gonna see y'all later.
I had a dream last night. Did everything I never do in real life. I stepped into